Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, many of you seem really excited about this build, so I thought, why not, let's get started. And I didn't know where to start with this, whether to start with the lower, whether to start with the upper, whether to start with the magazines. So I think we're just going to crack on, maybe do the upper first, and then we can do the lower. So I believe there's only a couple of things I'm going to need. I believe that is just the screws for the hop and the inner barrel set, but we'll see how we go and get along. I'm hoping the adjuster screw for the low-key hop unit sort of lines up so we don't have to start drilling into this thing. But let's get started. So we've got the skeleton upper in the lovely purple and green colour. We do have two screws there, so I'm not sure whether they're meant to be those mounting points or whether they're meant to be for the red dot. Now I imagine those predominantly are going to be to mount the barrel, so maybe we don't need that. We are going to have to take apart the front of the upper though, because we're going to want to fit the compensator and all those good bits. So let's get straight into it and get started. Let's not going to mess around. We're going to go with a 2mm Allen key, I think, first to remove the two countersunk screws on the bottom here. Yeah, that would make sense that they're for the hop unit. So that's good that we don't need those from the original AAP. We have to switch out to what looks like a 1.5. It might even be smaller. Yep, that's a 1.5. This is the screw which holds in the front iron sight, and it also screws straight in to the whatever this piece is called, the barrel body. I'm not too sure. Let's get this out of the way. Right, so we've took that off. We've got the bare bones upper here. Set that. What we're going to need to do, we're going to fit the compensator in. Oh god, how good does that look? It's almost like you've got like a little mini Picatinny if you look at the bottom of it. So there's only one way for this to go on. We can secure that in place to begin with the iron sight, just to make sure everything stays in place. Like so. The screws look of good quality, which is a nice change from what you usually get in these things. So good quality screws is always, you know, much appreciated. So I believe the blast shields, I mean, look how cool that looks, goes on, and we're going to use the two screws. I think you can set this in two places, maybe not. There is a couple of different screw holes there. I know they do a slightly lower, a slightly shorter upper. Maybe it's for that. I mean, I would assume it only goes in one way. First, let's see if we can get the hop unit in, and we can secure that in place. I'm hoping it doesn't look like we're going to be able to. Oh yeah, look at that. So if we locate these where they need to be, we can adjust the locate without having to do any modifications to the kit. So try and line this up here. We're going to use the two screws that are provided. We'll also have to cut and glue in the fibre optics for the iron sights. I might do that off camera because it's not super exciting. So we've got two screws, 1 and 2, like that. Got 2mm Allen key, and this should secure the hop unit in place. Is that right? It looks right, so I'm just going to go with it. The only thing that does concern me with this, with the low key, is we're probably going to have to Loctite the securing screws for the barrel just to make sure they don't go walkies, but we can get nice access to the hop unit there. The green it's a little off, but it's not horrendous. There's plenty of space for the barrel there. With the compensator, you get, you know, a female thread, so if you do want to put like traces and stuff on, you can do. So we've got those two screws in. We don't need, I believe, the two little screws because we'll slide this on, and then we're going to use the two longer screws provided with the blast shield. And it looks like that screw, I don't think you'll be able to see this, looks like that screw's a little bit off. So you'll see that one's cut nice, that one not so much. So that one is a little bit, oh no, I've just pushed in the, I think it was just a bit of swarf or something. So pushing the Allen key in has fixed that. So we can use the longer screws, which are in a different colour. They're in black instead of silver, which is no drama at all. It would have been nice if all these screws were black, to sort of go with the colour scheme. So we got, look how aggressive that looks. Not entirely sure I want these rails on the side. Let's see what it looks like if we take these off, because I'm not going to be running anything on the side of this kit. Does it look weird without it? I'm not too sure. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Can always screw them back on. I just don't feel like there's any accessory I'd ever need to put on the sides there, so we can slim it down just a little bit. Very aggressive looking. Love the colour scheme. You could just screw in your standard Action Army hop unit and barrel straight into this. So that is like more of a preference of what you want to use. The next speed hop unit would be a nice addition because you've got the little wheel and you can adjust it. But that being said, with the Lokis, the screw, I mean, this is the one without the rail on the top, but the screw is easily accessible. I'm going to put these screws to one side. Don't want to lose those. With the RMR plate that it comes with, I'm interested to see how this fits. So let's quickly take that off. Again, 2mm Allen key. 1, 2, 1 and 2. Got all 4 screws there, yes we do. So I think it's just as simple as pulling that off and then you'd fit the plate. Maybe you don't need the plate if you want to go for a really subtle fitment on the red dot. I'm just going to pull off this red dot off the TP22. So we'll see if this... I have seen pictures with these red dots on, so I'm hoping it just goes straight on. It will, it lines up nicely. Now, do we use the plate or don't we? So with not using the plate there, it obviously sits nice and low. If you were to secure that plate on, which, yeah, look at this. If you line the mounting screw holes up, the other holes don't quite line up, so there's a bit of mismachining there. So that could be a reason not to run it, and then maybe it doesn't matter all that much, but I don't really like the look of that plate. So if we can get away with fitting this directly on to the upper, which I think we're going to be able to do, we're going to get a nice streamlined look. So we don't need any adapter plate. I think that looks pretty damn cool. Nice and low profile. Just so happened, I think in their pictures on their website they show these red dots, but it just so happened I had one, so I thought, well, why not use it? The TP22 is not being used at the moment. Okay, so that's done. We need... Let's pull out the bolt. We're probably going to need some parts from this. We're going to need the nozzle spring, all the other bits and pieces on the back. So let's strip this down. You could buy those parts separately. I think I do have some cow ones somewhere. I also didn't get the guide rod. So the guide rod and recoil spring, that's something you could upgrade alongside it. We'll need to pull out this like sort of mounting plate. I'm pretty sure CTM do a lot of these parts. So we've got the nozzle spring there, 2 mounting screws, we've got the nozzle itself we pull out, and we need this little rubber seal, the piston cup. So we're just going to pop that off there. And I think that's all we need. So we can pop the piston cup on. Like that, just line it up so it sits in place. That is dry. It's a brand new pistol, but it is a little bit dry. This is just one of the old oil pens. I'm just going to put a little dab. You don't need much of this stuff. A little dab. Oh, convenient hole there to get a bit of lube on. Spread that round. The applicator brush of the 1-pens is makes that job very easy. We're going to put our nozzle in. Got our mounting plate with a nozzle spring. Can slide that down. Again, all these parts you can upgrade them to the hilt, and I probably will do. But I'm just very excited to get into building this pistol. I didn't want to go and sort of source more parts, waiting for them to turn up. I think we can just dive right in, get it built, and then later down the line, because we're going to want a better nozzle spring, probably going to want to upgrade those screws. You can get the Hadron ones, maybe a metal mounting plate. We'll upgrade this piece as well. We'll probably be short stroking it, but we'll put the spring on that comes with the kit and place that onto the bolts. Again, there's so many different setups you could use. Now, what I will say is that doesn't really want to sit in the bolt. There we go, it has sat in there. It was a little bit tricky pushing that into the bolt, but it does move nice and freely. It'll be interesting to see as well how well this anodizing survives. So I really do like the button, the little switch they have on the back. It's very cool indeed. Before we pop that in though, we do have another part here. We have their little charging handle. Now I'm a right-handed shooter, so I'll put this on the left side. I believe it's as easy as sliding this over. We'll have to back those screws out. What size are they? They're a 2mm. Okay, cool. So we can back these screws out. I'm not Loctiting all this in position. You can see the cut. I mean, you might be able to see the colour difference there. There is a difference in anodizing, which is kind of annoying. You know, you're buying all this stuff, you kind of want it to match. At least I'd like it to match. But very low profile charging handle, do like that. So we can take this now. Got the selector on the back, semi and fun. And then to place that in, I'm going to switch out to a bit of the one grease. This is in the newer pens, and we're basically just going to want to put a little bit in. You don't need a lot of this stuff at all. Just get a nice little thin film of it in the guide rails of where the bolt's going to go. Sorry if this is out of shot at any point, I'm just trying to focus on what I'm doing. So that's going to sit in there. What we'll also do is take a bit of this, place it on the top where the guide rod slides. We're going to put a little bit on the spring as well. That's all nice. We can put a little bit on the guide lugs of the bolt. So you've got 3, 1, 2, and 3. You can see how good these pens are to use. And we'll go for our first test fit, but we need to remove the rear iron sight because that's what holds the bolt in place. Like that. Put the iron sight back in. I don't believe I've forgotten anything so far. So yeah, you've got a bit of difference in the colour of the green, but I don't think it's too bad. If it bothers me a lot, what I'll do is I'll change it out for a black one. The bolt, you know, is nice and smooth so far. And I believe that's everything on the upper. I don't think there's anything else I'm missing. We've got grip panels. We've got. I mean, you'll have to let me know if. I mean, are those the wrong way? Are they meant to go more like that? That would make more sense to me. Were those fitted to the? Because I believe they were fitted like that. Were they screwed onto the wrong side? Does the pistol upper look better with these rails on? Or does it look better with them off? I'm just thinking, I mean, to be honest, these pistols plan to be used as like a primary in like CQB stuff. So it doesn't really matter. I won't be using it. I don't plan to use it in a holster. But also, I don't plan on putting any accessories. I mean, the most thing I'd do is put like a tack light on or something. Or does it give it that more aggressive look? You'll have to let me know in the comments below what you think. We can always remove them, put them back on. It's no big deal at all. Right, I think that's everything fitted. So we've only really needed a barrel and hop system. We've also had to use spring guide and the nozzle components. Everything else is CTM. We can take a quick look at what this looks like on the standard lower. If I can get it on there. So probably looks a little bit funky on this lower. It doesn't look right at all. We need to tart it up with some more bits and pieces. Do we have any gas in the mag? No, but I do have some AAP mags somewhere. Right, go and grab some propane just so I can test this thing. And see how this functions. So this is just a dry function check. The mag goes in okay. Lines up with the loco. Okay, you can see a lot. That's very revealing, this pistol. I wouldn't want to be using this in a woodland environment because the amount of dirt ingress that can get in this thing, but no gas. No gas. Is that bottle empty? Bottle's empty. Let's get a fresh one. Fresh propane can. Charge this mag. Mag doesn't really want to fill. Let's try the other one. Okay. I mean, that is pretty rapid right off the bat. It does have their spring in, but I'd say that functions pretty damn well. Obviously, it isn't the lower that we're going to be using. If I can get this bloody thing off, it's quite tight. So we've got to tart this up and get the rest of the parts on there. So what I'm going to do during that time, I'm going to do a quick clean-up of the bench. Just remove some of the parts that we've left over from the certain components that we've done. Shame to have such a nice part of the nice thread protector and we're never going to use it. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there. You know, we've done the upper. You can see the very aggressive style I was going for. You know, you've got this lovely compensator, then you cover it up with this blast shield, but I just think it looks straight out of Cyberpunk. You know, it looks very cool, and it's a very aggressive colour scheme. It's like a Joker colour scheme. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. In the next video, we start playing around with the lower. Or we might start, you know, sort of, let's modify a mag maybe. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying this little build. Try not to make this video too long. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Check out the links in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, from me and a very relatively not so bad bench, we'll see you in the next video.